Ladies and gentlemen, it's Hugh Hendry, the acid capitalist, welcoming you once more from the sublime, from the sunny island of St. Bart's in the French Caribbean. Hoping that you're loving the show. Did you know you can send me a message via the Buzzsprout platform, the thing that disseminates the voice to the Spotify and the Apple, etc.? No one has sent me a message. Everyone is too shy. Regardless, hit those star buttons, rate the show, and help me expand the universe of Acid Capital. Or find my HH YouTube channel where I'm reposting these oral masterpieces against a luxe tapestry of visuals. I'm seeking to tickle your fancy. And don't forget to check me out on Substack or Patreon and become an official tribe member. Go on, allow me to entertain you with video premieres and my exclusive insights into my investment letters from a time that seems a long time ago, but is maybe very relevant to where we are today, to where we must travel. Take a ride with me through the impossible madness of 2008. Hear me recount about the time I took my daughters to school the morning after the demise of Lehman Brothers, the palpable fear in the faces of the other parents that morning, and me, I just made a cool $100 million. But today, I want to take you on another journey into the dark recesses of the mind. I'm going to try to explain how it may help form a unique perspective out there on the edge of reasoning. Because sometimes it may present you with huge trading opportunities that no one else gets at first. It's going to put you in pole position to ride the wave. So today I want to talk to you about the gateless gate of acid capitalism. Because I grew up in a grey world. It wasn't just the weather. I mean, that was tough. I may have been the only person on the planet that moved to London in search of sunshine. But no, I'm talking about a deeper kind of grey, the type that seeps right into your soul, the kind that strips the colour from your dreams before they've even had the chance to take shape. A truly ghastly thing. Now, I may have painted my bedroom walls a vivid colour, purple. I promise you I did. But outside my bedroom window, the hills, the sky, the other houses, everything was painted a dull, insipid shade of grey. Now, depression, it wasn't a diagnosis back then, and certainly not for a working class kid like me. It was something you carried like a coat of damp wool. It clung to you day after day. Looking back, I think it gutted me. I was no more than 12 or 13, a weird kid with no manual for how to fight it, no prescription to dull the ache. But when it reached its low, it cracked open a door inside me. And guess what? Guess who walked in? Mr. Rebel. My rebellion had begun. At first, I found solace in music. Allow me to be playful. I wore out the Waterboys' vinyl album, Fisherman's Blues. Lyrics from other misfits, at that time, they were my escape function. And just the other night here in St. Bart's, I was gazing at the evening sky, looking for the return of the lunar cycle, which I very much missed. And it's reappeared in the ink dark skies. And what did I see? I saw a crescent moon. So really I should be reciting my other favourite song, The Whole of the Moon. I saw the crescent, but you saw the whole of the moon. I was singing that last night, positively belting it out. Singing is wonderful. But I'm not going to sing. Instead, I'm going to recite words that I remember from back then, from another track. Here goes, hold on. I wish I was the brakeman on a hurtling, fevered train, crashing headlong into the heartland like a cannon in the rain, with the beating of the sleepers and the burning of the coal, counting the towns flashing by in a night that's full of soul. With light in my head, my darling, with you in my arms, I know I will be loosened from the bonds that hold me fast, that the chains all hung around me, those damn things, they'll fall away at last. And on that fine and fateful day, I will take thee in my hand. I will ride on the train. I will be the goddamn fisherman. Wow. I absolutely love that song. Mike Scott, another Scott, a lyrical genius, always takes me higher. Please check it out if you're unfamiliar. And so by the time the last grey months of summer, summer was like winter. It was just so grey and wet. But when those months passed, I was ready to be a fisherman. I wasn't going to endure no more. I was going to rebel. Which got me to reading Albert Camus, The Rebel. Now, I just love Albert. God is dead. He's the great existentialist. There are no rules. You're on your own, baby. But I'm reading The Rebel. It was published after his death. Did he mean it to be published? I don't know. It's certainly a tough read. I read it last thing at night as I lie down. You know, I sleep on a yoga mat. I take the Shavasana, the dead body pose, with me into the twilight. Here I am at the preposterously beautiful Blanc Bleu. Check it out on Instagram, Blanc Bleu Official. We've even got a website. Have a look. It's beautiful property porn. A great Gatsby house. And I'm sleeping in the master bedroom, looking at the eternal sea. But I sleep on my magic carpet. I sleep on the floor. I've made a promise to myself. Until I hold thee in my arms once more. It's a solitary life for me. The bed's too big and all that. And the yoga mat, that suits me perfectly. Anyway, back to Albert and the Rebel, because he captures a lot of this sentiment perfectly. That rebellion, it isn't simply a denial of the world. Denial. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on, people. I debated with Niall Ferguson, the superstar historian, a professor of history at Harvard University. But here's the rub. He's from Glasgow. And he's got a little bit posh. And he now refers to himself as Neil. And I mean, my friends were like, why would you take on a debate gig with the best speaker in the world? You're going to get absolutely trounced. And I'm like, yeah, come on, let's have a go. So how do you get inside the head of someone like Niall or Neil Ferguson? You do so by referring to him as Nile, to which his retort is, the Nile is a river that runs through Egypt. It's also your real name, my friend. But anyway, let's return to the track. Rebellion isn't simply a river that runs through Egypt. To this day, I still find it so hard to go back to Glasgow. I still have family there, but my visits are fleeting and rather rare. Shame on me. Anyway, rebellion. It was the start of something in me that never quite went away. Because it's not rebirth. Rebellion, keep on track, H. Because rebellion rewires your brain, the cerebral cortex. Why do I keep returning to the 20 billion neurons? Because it's the masterpiece of the God that resides within you and me, a slumbering giant. But when rebellion takes over, it turns that whole mental orchestra into a punk rock band. It doesn't want harmony. It wants disruption. It doesn't ask, why are things this way? It asks, why shouldn't they be burned to the bloody ground? And here's the thing about rebels. We're outsiders. Cursed and blessed simultaneously. Cursed and blessed to see the flaws in the system. Cursed and blessed to be trapped outside, living in a space between what is and what could be. It makes me think, a wise man. Why is it always a wise man? It was a wise lady that said to me, you've got to be careful that in the life of speculation, that you don't invest too much of who you are in living in the future. You know I wear those damn silly goggles from Burning Man. Why? Like, you know when people say, you meet people and they say, hey, where are you from? I hate that question. And I'm like, I'm from the future. And so I wear the goggles because the present is so magnificent. It's so damn bright, full of possibility. It's wonderful. Anyway, rebellion is also where creativity lies, where markets live and breathe. And markets, they're like the brain itself. They're chaotic systems of excitation and inhibition. Again, it's all yin and yang, opposites colliding, different sides of the same coin. Glutamate, it excites. GABA. What does GABA do? GABA is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. Lives in your central nervous system. It inhibits you. I promise you, I love a bit of GABA last thing at night as I lie down on my magic carpet ride. The brain running on neurotransmitters, the market running on sentiment. Markets are certainly not running on fundamentals these crazy days. And both are capable of stunning feats of creativity and catastrophic collapse. Both designed to take meaning. The brain takes in the chaos of the world and tries to make sense of it. The poor brain sits there in a dark chamber. No light reaches the brain. It's only the musings of your monkey mind confusing it. But regardless, the brain takes in the chaos. It tries valiantly to make sense of it all. And markets, likewise, they suck in the chaos of human behavior, turn it into digital prices, trades, bubbles, and even crashes. Crashes happen because when the markets lose their grip on reality, and yes, they do, hint, hint, today, or perhaps a portent of next year, 2025. Anyway, when I finally stepped into that hedge fund world in 1999, having sleepwalked my way through the trauma of the aristocratic investment houses of Charlotte Square in Edinburgh, when I arrived in London, London was alive. It was chaotic. It was raw. It was everything. There was even sunshine. It was everything the grey world from a long time ago just wasn't. But here's the rub. Again, opposites colliding. Rebellion doesn't cure depression. It channels it. It gives it a purpose. Keeps you on the edge. Because I was in a constant state of war. In a battle against everyone. But mostly I've come to learn I was battling against myself. But I fought the markets with the same tenacity that I fought the grey skies of Glasgow. Some days I won, many days I lost. I remember saying, I am the architect of the fleeting and the very few great victories. But I'm the instigator. I am the author of all the damn stupid things that I have done. Me, not anyone else. Anyway, the fight was intoxicating, and it was certainly the life that I'd been seeking. But here's the kicker. What is meaning? I went chasing for happiness. Happiness, there's another song by the Blue Nile from Glasgow. The album Tinsel Town in the Rain, sublime, evocative of the greyness. But happiness, please tell me you know about Blue Nile. You must listen to them. Wonderful, wonderful song, Happiness, from another later album, Happiness, Happiness. But Belinda Carlisle had a deeper impact. You don't know Belinda Carlisle, do you? She was a rock, I guess she is, a rock pop American female singer, an artiste one of the go-go's. And she had this global sensation, this hit, Heaven is a Place on Earth, back in 1987. Heaven is happiness. So happiness, I deducted, is a place on earth. And as I constantly tried to push back the grey, I was determined to be happy. I bought countless beautiful houses. I was chasing the dragon, trying to find happiness. And heaven was a place on earth. And I was determined to buy it. Tennis courts, swimming pools, chickens, llamas, alpacas. Only for the grey to seep back in after no more than 6 months. In fact, St. Bart's, I lived here now semi-permanently for the last 10 years. But initially, it was the same thing. I was doubling down. I was like, oh, come on, where is the least grey place on earth? Where's my happy spot? St. Bart's, baby. And yet the greyness, the void, it still descended initially. Foolish me. It took me many more years to recognize that heaven, and I know, I'm guessing you guys have already worked it out. You guys are super smart. Heaven is not a place on earth. Heaven is a place inside you. It was like, what with my eternal fight with myself, I kind of lost sight of why I started in the first place. You get lost in the rebellion, in the trades, the adrenaline, the scene. I may even have become the thing I was fighting against, a slave to the system, to the dopamine, the rush of the next big trade, the next rebellion, pressing send on my computer key. Had I become a hedge fund caricature? But let me just say that the markets, they weren't just about the money. I mean, that's easy for me to say because I was very comfortable by then. Money always in the bank. But I never counted it. Never knew how much was there. Now, shut up me, because for sure, I knew there was always enough. But what I mean is that my life was really about proving to the grey world that I had escaped. That I'd found something brighter, sharper, that I was more alive than anyone else. And I think I did it. But like all things, it came at a cost. The same rebellion that saved me, it isolated me also. The same insights that made me a good trader. Am I a good trader? Yeah, I'm a good trader. Also made me a terrible conformist. You've been on the web browser, like you put my name in and who the hell is that old guy that features from like 10 or 15 years ago? The guy in the suit with the short hair. Who the hell indeed? But what does it mean to be an outsider? It means seeing the flaws in the system and never fully escaping the damn flaws. It means finding meaning not in what is, but in what could be. And it means never forgetting the world that you came from, because that's what drives you to rebel in the first place. The void, I guess it will always be there, but so is the spark, the rebellion, the fight. I thought that was enough, that it had to be, but I was wrong. As you may or may not know, I finally got divorced about 2 years ago. I had married my childhood sweetheart. Who does that? I did that. But it turned out that living with a constant rebel warrior, a rebel hedge funder, it was exhausting. And with the impermanence of life, the good lady, well, she'd had enough. Now, despite my zaniness, I am, in essence, a control freak. Don't tell anyone, but I really am a control freak. I've always been pretty damn straight. But these last 2 years, I have walked on the wild side of life. I have literally tried everything. Drugs are a kind of fascination, a great dare for the control freak, always in control. They promised rebellion against the natural order of the inhibition of the brain. Alcohol's a drug, promises to turn down the noise. Even I have self-doubt and despair. Even I. Rebellion through inhibition, seeking clarity through distortion. Why not, I thought. I'll try it. Lean into the madness. But it gets tiring. My favorite, however, was the Psilocybin, that's not how you say it, is it? The shrooms, psilocybin, oh, whatever, you know what I mean. The shrooms, the mushrooms, the champignons. A different beast, blocks the receptors in the mind, the very gateways of learning and reality. I was going to say it turns you into one of those sea squirts because you don't move, but that's bollocks. Your mind moves, your mind positively syncopates, disassociates you from the world, allowing you again to rewrite your reality yourself. I love the shrooms. Find it a great source of creativity. Although, like the alcohol, I've been pretty straight these last few months. Haven't needed to take any in an age. Albert, Mr. Camus himself, he writes that rebellion is not the same as revolution. Revolution seeks to overthrow, but rebellion seeks to illuminate. So drugs were a mini revolution, a temporary escape, which I think have passed. But illumination for me is the market. I always return my mind to the market. In 2017, I'd closed my hedge fund. I had unplugged myself, living on a tropical island, away from the mainframe, no Bloomberg terminal on my paradise island. And yet the voices inside my head still constantly stirring with their provocations. So markets continue to be, and I think they always will be, my rebellion. But like drugs, they have their price. The dopamine, the chemical fuel of desire and reward that drives every decision, surging with the anticipation of a winning trade, but fading. A certainty replacing the excitement, the high becoming even more elusive. And Camus, he understood this existential trap, the clash between our desire for meaning and the universe's complete indifference. To live as a rebel, he said, is to embrace this contradiction. And it's not about winning. It's all about defying the grey void. Every trade a metaphor, every risk a lesson. My friends, I have seen the depths of the void. I have touched the edges of despair. I have seen madness. I've lived through crushing lows, euphoric highs of rebellion. And through it all, I've learnt that rebellion is not a destination. It's a journey. Markets, they taught me this. Heck, life taught me this. And as I sit here now, hunching over my microphone, I recall Central Park in fall. You tore your dress. What a mess. Oh, I forgive me. I'm singing again. Stop. I've come to realize that rebellion is not just an act. It's a state of being, of seeking to create something beautiful out of the chaos. So now let's go full Wu-Tang Clan from Staten Island, 1992, baby. Love that band. But I'm going to end by a discussion on cones. No, not those roadside plastic things that drunk people find late at night and perch on very high statues in public places. Rather, I'm talking about koans, a paradoxical question used in Zen Buddhism to transcend rational thinking and to trigger a moment of enlightenment. You Bitcoiners probably know that a Satori is an awakening concept. But koans, they help you break on through to the other side. A koan, a classic koan might ask, what is the sound of one hand clapping? Now, that's preposterous. It's there to annoy the left hand side of the left hemisphere of the brain, for you to experience the dissolution of conventional reasoning and maybe even reach a direct insight. Maybe or maybe not. Koans are a Zen toolkit helping you to reflect on life's complexity and to become comfortable. Comfortable in a state where definitive answers are elusive, like markets themselves and peering into the misty, tantalizing near future. I just love koans. They demand playfulness, intuition, creativity, being bold, all that jazz. Wu-Tang or Wu-Man woman. No, I don't mean women, ladies. I mean woman. Wu is 2 words. It's the name of a 13th century Chinese Zen master. Wu Man. He put together 48. He's the original Bob Dylan. 48 amazingly absurd koans. He's a big deal in Zen practice. So we got to end here by talking about the gateless gate. I just love a gateless gate. To the master, to Mr. Wu Man, koans were the gates that we got to pass through. Internal barriers that lock away the very God that resides within you. The gates that keep you brushing your teeth first thing in the morning, turning up at work, bang on time, being obedient. The gateless gate is all about moo or nothingness. A monk asks, does a dog have a Buddha nature? And the master, what does he say? He says, moo, baby. And you're like, what? What? Moo. It's a slap in the face. I'm not making this up. It's a wake-up call. Wu Man. I mean, that dude, he helped me understand that Belinda Carlisle was just a phony. Another locked gateway stopping me from experiencing reality as it truly can be. But Wu Man, I got him immediately. He dares you to leap directly into the unknown through paradox. And you know I simply adore a bit of paradox. And he helped me have a moment, a profound shift in my perception when I finally did break free from all that nonsense, all that grey void gibberish that I've been going on about. It put a smile back on my face, put a spring in my step. You know what I mean? Now, when was that moment? 2 years ago, roughly 2 years ago. I met a lady friend, a big artsy famous creator, and we hit it off immediately. And I'm thinking, well done, Mr. HH, Mr. Acid Capitalist. Except she turns to me at the end of the night, she's like, you're really screwed up. You got to meet the Wu Man. I'm like, Wu Man? I'm into Wu Man. And she's like, no, the Wu Man. You got to meet my guy. So there I am. I'm sitting in a room in a country far, far away with this queer-looking geezer. And he's got me doing some really straightforward, deep breathing exercises. You know, arching the back, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And he pushes, he just ever so gently manipulates my esophagus. That's a word I struggle with. I always call it asparagus, but esophagus. He pushes gently into my tummy and boom. I literally have no idea what happened next. You know that cliche of being reborn, the red pill, pulling your mind out of the matrix? Kind of. I kind of want to say that's what happened. There's simply just not enough words in our language to explain it. I had no notion of who I was, where I was, or how I got there. I was way under, out of control, out of my body, seeing things. And as I gradually came to, as my mind reassembled, I was no longer sitting in the chair, but I was half suspended. I was literally diving over a cliff, and I was held in the arms of the other guy, who by now, of course, had seen it all many countless times before. I still only had a vague notion of who I was and where I was. But the guy says to me, you want to go again? And I'm like, hell yeah, I do. Must have done it 6 or maybe even 7 times in that session. And each time, you're just never settled. I mean, you go somewhere, but the question is, can you get back? Will your brain reassemble properly? Maybe it never did, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the 2008 financial crisis can be seen as a collective moo moment for global capitalism. The collapse forcing markets to reimagine their foundations, their purpose. Did we get an innovation like Bitcoin in the immediate aftermath? Satori, an awakening, a breakthrough. But collectively, I think we've never been the same since 2008. In my world of finance and beyond, each moment presents a new koan, a question that defies logic and demands creativity. Acid capitalism, baby, like the Zen practitioner, navigating the challenges with courage and a willingness to let go of certainty. I simply have no time for experts telling me what they know is about to drop. Acid capitalism is a cone. It demands breakthroughs, moments when the established mental paradigms collapse under the weight of their own contradictions. It's coming soon, people. 2025. We'll cross the gateless gate. And with acid, we'll do it with mischief and a dash of ingenuity, stripping bare other people's presumptions. So whilst the Zen monks wrestle with the contortions of the truth of our existence, today's acid disruptors, we recognize that breakthroughs, they're not gifts. They're battles to be fought and won against the many. But out here on my favourite perpendicular, we demand not your logic. No, we demand that you're bold and you're paradoxical when taking action. The gateless gate is our calling. The need to create new pathways where none existed before. The idea is echoed by my wonderful Jesse Livermore, the original hedge fund trader when there was no hedge funds 120 years ago. And his trading mantra, the stock market is never obvious. It is designed to fool most of the people most of the time. Yeah, Jesse said it. People, you gotta lick the razor's edge. The joy of the edge. Remember, joy is our energy. To operate as though tomorrow has already arrived. Boom. People, we are done. Shall we do some breathing? Let me help you. I hope you're sat comfortably. They say it's important that your back is straight and upright. I don't know. Normally, I just lie in bed. I'm not trying to force anything. My eyes, they say your eyes should be open. But my eyes are wide shut. And I'm taking some deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. So I hope your chest is expanding. And as the breath passes through your mouth, the muscles soften. The stress is being released. And with the next exhalation, let's just allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And if your eyes are open, please close your eyes. Come on, I dare you. And here's the cool thing. Can you feel the weight of your body pressing down? Can you feel the gravity? The energy that's always there, but we're simply not conscious of it? I want you to relax. I'm sure you can hear sounds. Let them pass. Let them go. Don't pay attention to them. Notice them by all means, but let them pass. And as your attention returns to your complex body, notice how are you sad, or are you lying there happy? How does your body feel right now? Tired? Or do you have a sensation of lightness? The Unbearable Lightness of Beings, a great book by Milan Kundera. If you're like me,
you've probably got some restlessness in the body, some twitches, bangs. But without trying to change anything, just be curious. And let's do, it sounds like a science fiction movie, but let's do the body scanner. Starting at the top of your head and moving down through your body, searching out your feet with that curiosity to discover how your body feels right now. And now let's shift that attention back to the wonders of our breath and its movement. A movement, a Swiss clock, is always there in our body. Just where do you feel these undulations, these rising peaks and troughs of the breath within you? We're searching the sea of tranquility. I promise you, it's close. Can you feel it? Some form of rhythm? Where is your breath? Is it irregular? I certainly hope not. Is it short, shallow, or is it deep and profound? At this moment, only you can tell the secrets of your eternal echo chamber. And now, pursuing this infinite journey of the breath, I just call upon you to stay focused on the breathing. Have you got, I can hear it, I can hear thoughts invading your mind. That's cool. Just let them go. Focus on the breath. Focus on the breath. Still, allow those thoughts, those invaders, let them come, let them go. But gently, my friends. Just bring ever so slowly your attention back to the breath. In and out. Don't force it. Just let it be. Noise is everywhere. But where are you? Well, let it go. Now, no more focusing on the breath. It's getting boring. Let that attention go as well. Let it all hang out. Go on, let your mind run riot. Let it focus on anything. Okay, my friends, come on, wait it in. Let's bring it back. Attention. The body. Where's your body? Again, feel the majesty of the weight of your body pressing down. Your hands, your legs, your arms. Come on, people. Let's wake up. Let's be aware of the space, the sounds, the smells. Do you feel the sensations? A new beginning, a stirring? I don't know. But if you're ready, I beseech you to open your eyes. You have officially completed an acid capitalist magic carpet ride. Your grey matter is ready for the challenges that await. Be curious, be playful, be mischievous. Until the next time, the acid capitalist bids you goodbye.